Hello, I'm Carrie and I'm back with another collective reading for us today. And today I just asked the question, what is going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know about y'all, but it's been an interesting past few days. We got Mercury retrograde, there's an eclipse coming up. People are just being people, things are happening. I just wanted to do a quick reading of what's going on. So, first, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love, your likes, your positive energy. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, all of that. I just appreciate it, even if you watch 5 seconds of this video. So, let's get started. I got this whole spread here, but honestly, I just want to talk about it. So, recently, in my mind, I've just had lots of thoughts coming up, like old thoughts, like, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Do I work hard enough? Should I even be here? Like, really just kind of doubting my worth, my worthiness. And that's what I'm seeing in these cards. Like, things from the past are coming up. So, in the past, somebody may have told me, hey, Carrie, you're not worth this. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Like, maybe not even directly, but it was something that still stuck with me. And because I feel and see and hear those thoughts coming up, I'm like, okay, this is ready for me to release. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards, death, rebirth. It's like we're given the opportunity to rewrite those things that were said to us. And because I am now 35 years old, I am old enough to know and see and understand that nobody really means to dish you or put you down in that way. And sometimes I think that people do it without even knowing what they're doing. It's just what they think and understand. Their concept of worthy is and good enough. It's just outdated. It's old. It doesn't really serve anymore. And that's why it's coming up to be released. It's like, hey, you remember? You remember when you weren't good enough in this environment when they told you you weren't? But do you remember that you were good enough? And that's why you left, because you knew you were good enough for that. But the sting of them saying those things to you is still there. It's like still behind in your heart. Like you can still feel it. But to let that go, to be like, oh, they just were saying that, but it wasn't true. But even though they said it, it doesn't mean it's true. And even though it hurt, it doesn't mean that it's true either. It just means like, dang, why you say this to me? Or why did you make me feel this way? It's like those negative thoughts, those feelings, those things that are, it's like they're turning around in the back of your mind. It's kind of like they're coming to the forefront for you to confront and be like, that's not true. Even though I've been holding on to it for all of these years as it was like, as if it were something that were true, as if it were facts, because I've heard it more than one time. So somebody got to be right, right? No, they don't have to be. So it's here, the Five of Swords clarified by the Ten of Swords. You see all these birds flying around, and to me, I really feel like it's that energy, like those thoughts, those negative thoughts, those self-depreciating thoughts going through your mind. They're just like ready to be released, because we have the five being clarified by the Ten of Swords. That's completion. It's like, okay, those thoughts, wrangle them up, confront them, and then release them. Let them go. We're being given that opportunity. And I've seen this so many times with Mercury retrograde, like things that, because Mercury is about communication, right? Things that we've been thinking about in our brains that we haven't even that just aren't, they're not conscious, they're subconscious. Mercury likes to this is the only thing I can think, mix them up and kind of just help us see them, like bring them to the forefront of our mind. It's like, hey, what about this? You remember that? Remember this thought? It's actually affecting the way that you move in your life. You want to confront this or what? Like, hey, because it's here. And that's the energy that I'm getting. Even when I see the moon here, the moon is a different perspective. This is, think about how things look in the daytime versus the nighttime. Sunlight versus moonlight. It's a whole different perspective. Something in the daytime that can be perfectly cheery, and the nighttime can be creepy. And it's like we're getting this new perspective so that we can be allowed to confront these things that have been holding us back for a long time. This is the wounded warrior. It's like she went away from everybody. She ran away. She's all on her own, Nine of Wands. And it's like, here's an opportunity while you're on your own, while you're in this new, different energy to confront the things that are coming up for you. It's like illumination on those. But instead of being in the sunlight, they're in the moonlight. Hopefully that makes sense. Or maybe things that were in the moonlight are now coming forefront so you can see them more clearly. But right now, if I had to answer the question of what's going on, you're being given a new opportunity to look at the things that are happening in your life. And especially like in certain scenarios that are going on right now. Like, are you feeling disempowered? Are you feeling like not good enough? Are you feeling maybe I don't belong here? Maybe I need to put in more work? Maybe this and that? Like, are you feeling that way? And do you think that that's the truth? Or is it like thoughts that have been projected onto you that are not even true? I know so many times, like the imposter syndrome, I have felt so many times. And it's so funny because I'm such a logical person. It's like, I feel this way, but I got all these degrees and I have put in all this work. I'm the hardest working person I know. So I know that can't be true, but why am I feeling this way? So I'm always going to like analyze my way out of those negative thoughts. But how do you do it? How do you let go of something like that? Do you pray about it? Do you do affirmations? I love affirmations because they help me remember who I am. And like, nobody's better than me. We're not better or worse than each other. It doesn't have to do with that. It has to do with our actions. How are we showing up? How do we show up every day? Am I showing up as myself every day? Am I putting in the work every day? Okay, then I belong here. Am I doing the job? Well, I belong here. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to do with anyone else's opinion of you. It has to do with like the way in which you show up in the world. And I think remembering that and getting to that is super important. And I'm even thinking here, especially because I'm a woman and there's so much going on with in politics right now about women, and I really feel this energy of uprising. Like, we're not about to take this no more. So if you women, if you are feeling that way too, if you're feeling like you've been oppressed for too long, like, you're not alone. Don't think you're alone. And remember the truth. Like, don't allow people to say you're weaker, you're less smart, you're less capable. Like, do not allow people to say that to you and don't believe it. Just understand that this is an old mindset that people have projected onto women for, I mean, I don't even know how long. I don't know a time in which women haven't been said we're weaker, we're less, we're not good enough, we are blah blah blah, should be in the kitchen or whatever. But don't allow that to affect you, and don't allow that to keep you down. Don't allow that ceiling to crush you either, because we have all the gifts, skills, and abilities. And I think it's time for us to see that within ourselves, for us to confront those demons of, from back when it's like you do one thing wrong, and then it's like, yep, look, because women can't do this and women can't do that, when literally you haven't been taught the right way, or quote unquote the right way. You know what I mean? Like, internalizing things that are not even yours to internalize. I think those things are just coming up for us to release, for us to see the truth. I think so many times, like, I will look at people who are trying to tell me that I'm less than or I'm not good enough, and I would just kind of like look at them and think, wow, you cannot even see the truth. You don't even understand what truth is. So how in the world could I let you judge me? How could I let you cast judgment upon me, blame upon me? Like, your meter is off. And it's very helpful for me to see the people who are trying to judge me or tell me that I'm less than, don't even understand how, like, what good enough is. I'm like, if you understood that, then you would see that you should snatch me up for this job, or you should snatch me up to be your partner, or to be on the team, or, you know what I mean? Like, if your sense of judgment was good, then you would see that this is a diamond over here. But because you're blind, I'm not even going to take it personally, because you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, it just really helps me to understand that the people who are trying to cast judgment on me are not even qualified. So I don't have to take that personally. I can just let them have their own opinion and keep on doing what I'm doing, keep on being excellent, and not allow it to affect me. But we're being called to release some of those things, some of those negative things that are coming through our mind. Like, literally all this week have been doubts. Like, am I good enough? Can I do this? Like, I keep hearing it in my mind, and I was like, well, yes. The answer is yes. But why? Okay, doubts. I need you to go ahead and come up so I can release you. Go ahead and come to the surface so I can understand the source of you. And I can move on from there, or I can heal from there, or I can ask myself, okay, what is it within me that I feel I need to to do better on? What is it that I feel like I'm not achieving or accomplishing? Or what standard am I trying to be trying to be good enough for, quote unquote? And ask myself, is that standard even something that I care about or believe in? 10 times out of 10, it has been no. Like, actually, I don't really care. That's not something that's important to me. The things that are important to me, I'm doing. I'm doing to the best of my ability because I think those are important. I'm not going to allow anyone else to place another standard on me. So that's what I feel is going on right now, you all. I hope that you all are able to work through this energy because it's kind of tough. But we got this. And allow it to come up and release. All right, you all. I'll see you next time.